Right now, the Madison School Board wants your help in finding the district's next superintendent, how members plan to narrow down the search process.
Plus, the judge in the Lily Peters homicide case lays down some ground rules as a hearing for the teen suspect gets underway.
And the Justice Department asks a judge to weigh in on what former President Trump posts about his case. Also, what some voters are saying about the new indictment. That's all coming up on News 3 now at 10. The Madison Metropolitan School District wants to hear what the community wants to see in a new permanent superintendent.
Lisa Quisted will fill that position in the interim this school year as the district searches for a full-time replacement. Armand Rahman shares how you can have a say in who that is.
Yeah, Eric and Charlotte, a community survey was first shared last week in person at the Disability Pride Festival. The independent research firm that the district hired is asking parents, students, caregivers, and residents of Madison how they want the district to change and what role the superintendent should have in that. While enrolling your child for their next school year in Madison, you probably found your way to this screen.
What are folks looking for in our next superintendent?
Madison School Board President Nichelle Nichols says it's not new for the district to get community input in their search, but it's more far-reaching than before.
From family members to students to going out to community organizations, really being inclusive and intentional about getting as many voices and different types of voices.
The survey asks what community members want to see in the next superintendent and the priorities they want that new hire to address. Nichols says it's important to touch base after a few years of the pandemic, teacher shortages, and other challenges.
They'll also be able to let us know the things that people are worried about, maybe critical about, and those might be some of the things that we want to avoid.
She says the search firm will use the responses as well as focus groups of community members to create a leadership profile that acts like a job description. That'll get posted in November ahead of the vetting process.
What we are imagining is that a couple of those finalists will have more community input by spending a day in the district, and community members will help be part of the interview process.
Nichols says they're still hoping to name a new head of the district in March of 2024.
We want a superintendent ultimately who can come in and kind of know that like things aren't the way they used to be, and that somebody who can nurture that and also hear what the community is saying they want.
And the survey will be open through early October and can be found in multiple languages on the district's website. We'll have a link to that in this story on channel3000.com.
Armand, thank you. Maybe we'll turn off the AC, open up some windows tonight. Time to check your first warn forecast. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti.
You know, if you like the weather for today, I think about the next 10 days are going to be very similar to that, with similar temperatures during the daytime, even at night. And there'll be some chances for rain, but about every second or third day. Let's start out by taking a look at the time lapse from WISC-TV Skycam. We had some sunshine and we had some clouds mixed in. For the most part, the clouds didn't bring any precipitation across southern Wisconsin. They actually started to thin out towards sunset. There was a narrow line of some showers and a couple of isolated thunderstorms up in northern and central Wisconsin, but those really started to fizzle out as they approached our viewing area. And right now, I don't see any rain for the rest of tonight. Low temperatures this morning, 63 in Madison. Most areas were in the 60s, although north and west of the Dells, temperatures were in the 50s. High temperatures today, generally in the lower 80s. A few places stayed in the upper 70s, especially closer to Lake Michigan. But all in all, those are great temperatures for the end of the first week of August. Current temperatures right now are in the upper 60s to the lower 70s. A little cooler closer to Lake Michigan, a couple degrees warmer out toward the Dells. Here in Dane County, 66 in Deerfield, 67 in Stoughton, and 66 the current temperature in Oregon. Look for skies to be partly cloudy overnight. It'll be mild with a low temperature of about 63 degrees. Later on, I'll take a look at a forecast that includes plenty of dry hours, but at least some chances for rain over the next 10 days.
In Chippewa Falls, an emotional day for friends and family of Lily Peters, the 10-year-old girl murdered last April while walking to her home. The 15-year-old suspect appearing in court today for a hearing to determine if the case should move to juvenile court. Today, the judge laid out how evidence will be presented during the hearing. First, no crime scene photos are allowed to be shown during the hearing, including photos or videos of the suspect. Additionally, prosecutors will not be allowed to talk about Lily Peters' character or personal history.
I view the petition as nothing more than a pleading which Mr. Cohen needs to prove. He has 3 factors he needs to prove. I am not going to use the petition in any way whatsoever to help improve that.
Peters was reported missing the night of April 24th of 2022. The next morning, her body was discovered in a woods close to her home. The defendant is charged as an adult with first-degree intentional homicide and 2 counts of sexual assault. The hearings are scheduled through the week.
A man who pleaded guilty in a deadly gas station shooting 2 years ago is sentenced to life in prison today. Christopher Somerset pleaded guilty in April to 1 count of first-degree intentional homicide. Somerset was charged in connection with a 2021 shooting at a BP gas station in the 4500 block of Verona Road that left Keshawn Davis Williams dead. Somerset will be eligible to apply for extended supervision in 2060.
A trial for one of 3 teens charged in a shooting on Madison Southwest side last year is now underway. Demarion Pollard is facing 4 felony counts, including first-degree intentional homicide, 2 bail jumping charges, and 1 charge of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Pollard appeared in court today. A jury was selected. The trial will continue tomorrow.
Fitchburg police say 2 bicyclists were hurt this morning after getting hit by vehicles in 2 different areas. The first crash occurred around 5:50 at the intersection of McKee and Nesbitt roads. The bicyclist suffered minor injuries and was taken to an area hospital for evaluation. A second crash occurred at around 9 o'clock at the intersection of County Highway MM and Burn Road. That bicyclist suffered a possible broken wrist and was taken to an area hospital. Both drivers were cited for failure to yield right-of-way and conducting an improper turn.
Now to a disturbing story out of Sussex, Wisconsin. That's in Waukesha County, where residents say they've been finding anti-Semitic flyers in their driveways. Those flyers came in bags filled with rocks and messages full of anti-Semitic rhetoric. Right now, the Waukesha County Sheriff's Department says its deputies are looking into these flyers. In a statement, the Milwaukee Jewish Federation says it is appalled by the act and is working with victims.
I was literally shaking for an hour after reading it. Like, just the material they're putting out is really disturbing.
The American Defamation League says there were over 3,600 reports of anti-Semitic incidents in the U.S. in 2022. That's the highest number on record, and nearly 1,000 more compared to 2021.
Meanwhile, over in Minnesota, the last Minneapolis police officer charged in the fatal arrest of George Floyd has been sentenced. A judge sentenced former Minneapolis police officer Tu Tao to 4 years and 9 months in prison for aiding and abetting second-degree manslaughter. Tao is already serving 3 to 5 years on federal charges for violating Floyd's civil rights during Floyd's arrest. Tao received credit for 340 days already served. He will serve his state sentence concurrently with his federal prison term.
Former President Donald Trump's legal team asked a federal judge overseeing the election conspiracy case against him to reject a proposed protective order request from prosecutors that focuses on evidence in the case. Special counsel Jack Smith quickly asked the judge to reject the Trump defense team's proposed changes. CBS News correspondent Natalie Brand reports from Washington.
Federal prosecutors want to limit what former President Donald Trump or his lawyers can publicly release when it comes to evidence in the January 6th case. In a filing Monday evening, Trump's lawyers pushed back against prosecutors, calling the government's request to limit what the former president can say is in effect asking the court to censor his political speech. Special counsel Jack Smith, who charged Trump for his alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election, had filed a request for a protective order over the weekend. Prosecutors cited a recent social media post in which Trump said, "If you go after me, I'm coming after you." The government argued Trump's statements could have a harmful chilling effect on witnesses or adversely affect the fair administration of justice in this case.
I think the former president's most recent comments really reinforce the government's concern that the former president is not a defendant who sits and ruminates in silence.
In an interview with NBC, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis listed several concerns he had with how the 2020 election was administered, but acknowledged that Trump lost.
Of course he lost.
Trump lost the 2020 election.
Of course.
Okay.
Joe Biden's the president.
That comes as a new CBS News poll finds most Republicans surveyed view the indictments as an attempt to stop Trump's 2024 campaign. But the majority of Americans said they see the indictments and ongoing investigations as upholding the rule of law and defending democracy. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
A law enforcement source told CBS News that security for federal judge Tanya Chutkin, who is assigned to oversee the criminal case against Trump in Washington, has been increased, and security for special counsel Smith has also been heightened.
A debate late Friday is throwing Wisconsin's highest court into upheaval. It all stems from the swearing-in last week of the court's newest liberal justice, which flipped the balance of the court to a liberal majority. In the days since then, the court has made a series of changes, including shifting the power away from the Chief Justice, a conservative, and placing it with a 3-justice panel. That's drawing some surprise from political observers, including Ryan Owens, a Supreme Court scholar at UW-Madison.
This is highly, highly unusual. I think what we're seeing here is the liberal justices trying to consolidate their power very quickly using methods that some have claimed to be extra constitutional or extra legal. I think at best, they're a little odd.
The claim by conservatives on the Supreme Court is that it circumvents the Wisconsin Constitution, which dictates that the Chief Justice is the primary administrator of the judicial system. But liberals on the court said in a statement that this is in an effort to make the court operate more timely and responsive.
Wisconsin Attorney General Josh Kaul filed a motion for final judgment today in his lawsuit challenging the state's 1849 law banning abortion. Last month, Judge Diane Schlipper wrote in a decision that the 1849 law does not in fact ban abortion, but instead creates a ban on feticide under a 1994 Wisconsin Supreme Court case. Kaul's motion asked the judge to formalize a ruling on the case without further oral argument. A ruling would allow the case, which is expected to be appealed all the way to the state Supreme Court, to move forward.
Believe it or not, the new school year is almost here. And News 3 Now is teaming up with the Boys and Girls Club of Dane County once again for our annual Back to School drive. This year, we are asking you to stuff this bus with school supplies to make sure every kid in Dane County is set up for success this school year. You can drop off supplies at our studio here at News 3 Now, any Metcalf's or Walgreens location. And if you can't get to the bus or even here, you can donate online. The Boys and Girls Club of Dane County has set up an Amazon wish list of all the items they need. Just click the items, add them to your cart, and they will go straight to the Boys and Girls Club. You can find all this information on channel3000.com/back-to-school.
Still more ahead on News 3 Now at 10, including Gary's complete look at the forecast.
But first, America's credit rating downgrade is hitting mortgage rates. A look at the impact it's having on the housing market and what it means for borrowers when we come back.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10. Winner of the Best Evening Newscast by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association.
When our clean, shiny truck pulls up in front of your house, yes, everyone starts clapping because everyone is happy. And that's why they all start dancing. Woo!
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
The sun is setting on Toyota's national sales event. Wait, they have until September 5th.
Get 3.99% APR for 48 months on many of Toyota's most popular models. Toyota, let's go places.
When an appliance you rely on goes kaput, you can count on family-owned Brothers Maine, Southern Wisconsin's local appliance authority since 1938. With thousands of in-stock options, we have the brands you want at the lowest prices guaranteed. Even big box can't beat our prices. Our experienced team of appliance experts will help you make the right selection, and we deliver it fast and free to your home. What you need when you need it. Shop appliances you can bring home today at our Madison and Janesville showrooms. Feel like family. Brothers Maine.
Lean back and enjoy the summer savings at the Century House. Right now, get a $100 instant rebate for every $1,000 you spend on any qualifying stressless seating. The more you spend, the more you can save instantly. So furnish an entire room with the most comfortable seating in the world and watch the savings add up. Shop the Century House, 3420 University Avenue in Madison.
Spectrum brings us Spectrum One, where Spectrum Internet, advanced Wi-Fi, and unlimited mobile come together to keep you seamlessly connected wherever you are! Why did you switch?
With Spectrum One, we get a super fast, reliable connection.
And the advanced Wi-Fi has enhanced security and privacy features that automatically block online threats.
How reliable is Spectrum Mobile?
It's a super reliable service coast to coast.
Switch to Spectrum One and get internet for $49.99 a month, plus free advanced Wi-Fi and one free line of unlimited mobile. Call 1-833-685-4999.
The sun is setting on Toyota's national sales event. Wait, they have until September 5th.
Get 3.99% APR for 48 months on many of Toyota's most popular models. Toyota, let's go places.
When our clean, shiny truck pulls up in front of your house, yes! Everyone starts clapping because everyone is happy. And that's why they all start dancing. Woo!
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Ted Lasso's Brendan Hunt can really hoop.
Not a skill that comes up in job interviews?
I really want to see this.
All right.
Plus, Yellow Jackets, Tony Cypress.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
As the Writers Guild of America approaches 100 days on strike, there is no end in sight. A failed meeting Friday was seen as the first potential thaw between the writers, and SAG-AFTRA joined the picket lines last month. A spokesman for the studio says they remain committed to finding a deal with both unions, but there are currently no plans to resume talks.
They're not speaking to us, so I don't know what that comment was, that they want to seek a deal when you have to be able to negotiate and talk to the opposition to make a deal.
Now, both unions are seeking better pay, improved residual payments, and protections against job losses due to the use of artificial intelligence. Meanwhile, production on several highly anticipated movies, including the next installments of Mission Impossible, Deadpool, and Gladiator, have all been put on hold.
The housing market is taking another hit. According to Bankrate, the average rate for a 30-year mortgage rose to 7.09% last week. That's after the credit rating agency Fitch downgraded the U.S. debt rating from AAA to AA+. Economists say higher mortgage rates mean consumers will have to pay more for the same house. Those higher costs are sidelining some would-be home buyers, but demand is still high. One economist says that's because inventory is too low.
We sort of have a housing shortage in the country. We need to build a lot more homes over the next decade to catch up with the shifting demographics and the actual demand, especially amongst those first-time home buyers.
Several leading economists have denounced Fitch's downgrade, citing cooling inflation and other positive indicators. Meanwhile, former Treasury Secretary Henry Paulson says the debt is not an immediate worry for the U.S. economy.
To the weather now, where more than 120 million Americans in the south and up the eastern seaboard were under the threat of severe weather today. Heavy rains and fierce winds pummeling the metro D.C. area, where residents have been under a level 4 of 5 risk of severe storms. Now, hundreds of thousands of homes are without power tonight. The severe weather also wreaking havoc on travel. Thousands of flights have been canceled or delays.
These are not your summer-type thunderstorms. These will produce significant wind because they are moving so fast.
Now, meanwhile, excessive heat warnings remain in effect across the southern part of the country. An average day weather-wise for August, Gary has our complete forecast.
Yeah, that storm system that's been pummeling the East Coast today was the one that missed us to the south yesterday. And you can see this by the severe weather reports just over the last 24 hours. The storm that was south of us last night was winding down with some wind reports across parts of southern Illinois into southern Indiana. But look at all the high wind and hail reports across the southeastern part of the country, through the mid-Atlantic states, and then about as far northeast as New York City. Several tornado reports in here as well, but it was mostly strong straight-line winds that caused widespread wind damage and power outage. Now the main line of storms is moving off the East Coast. You can see the southern part of the line moving off the Carolina coast, so things are starting to wind down there. In our part of the country, there was a narrow little line of showers and isolated thunderstorms up in the northern portion of the state. Those have fizzled, and right now it looks like we'll stay dry for the rest of the night. 3 things you need to know in the forecast. Look for seasonably warm temperatures for the next 10 days. Average high temperatures about 81. We're going to see high temperatures between about 80 and 83. You can't get much closer than that. Rain chances will be about every 2 or 3 days, with some showers and thunderstorms in the forecast Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening, Friday, Sunday night, and then Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. But outside of Friday and next Wednesday being a little more humid, most of the time it'll feel pretty comfortable. High temperatures today, very nice. Lower to middle 80s across the state. A little cooler close to Lake Michigan, Milwaukee at 79 degrees. But the one thing you're going to see when we widen out the view here for high temperatures, remember that excessive heat the last week across parts of Kansas, Texas, and Oklahoma? At least for the time being, it has shifted south and is off the map. So right now, almost the entire Midwest looking at really nice temperatures for the first part of August. As we check out the weather track right now, the jet stream is basically from west to east, so that doesn't bring in a lot of moisture. So these little showers and thunderstorms form along either troughs of low pressure or weak cold fronts. The more widespread precipitation is farther to the south and west, where at least some moisture just off the map to the south where the excessive heat is starting to build. Some of that moisture works its way northward and collides with the cooler air, and we start to see these showers and storms that develop off the front slopes of the Rockies, and they just kind of work their way inland through Nebraska and Kansas. Very typical for this time of year. Current weather map. Right now, not much happening around here. This little trough of low pressure extended back into Wisconsin earlier this afternoon. That's what triggered that little line of scattered showers and thunderstorms. Another trough is kind of the back edge of the precipitation off to the east. That cold front has pushed the severe weather now off the coast. Across our part of the country, you can see here in Wisconsin, skies are partly cloudy. Temperatures 60s in the northern part of the state and also parts of southern Wisconsin. Madison at 66, but out to the west, 71 in La Crosse, 70 in Eau Claire. Temperatures in the 60s closer to Lake Michigan. You can probably shut the air conditioner off at least for a time tonight. 82, though, for the high tomorrow. Probably want it during the day, although the humidity levels will be down. Skies will be partly sunny. Planning your day across Dane County for tomorrow. 81 in Brooklyn, 82 in Verona, and 82 in Cross Plains with partly sunny skies. Across the rest of southern Wisconsin, La Crosse will hit 85, 80 in Platteville, and to the east, 80 in Watertown and 83 in Janesville. First, the future track precipitation. This is for Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday evening. Not a lot of precipitation. Most areas that get any rain at all will be under 1/10 of an inch unless you get caught underneath a heavier thunderstorm, maybe up to a 1/2 inch in a couple of spots. Most areas will probably stay dry. First warned 7 to 10 day forecast. After the thunderstorm chance Wednesday, Thursday will be dry. Friday, a better chance for showers and thunderstorms, a little more humidity. The weekend will be dry with another chance for thunderstorms Sunday night, and then Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. So about every other day, but those temperatures are very close to average.
And coming up in sports, summer camp came to a close for the Wisconsin football team tonight. Their favorite part about Camp Plantville is next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Welcome to Oakmont Senior Community in Verona. Active seniors 55 plus will enjoy our new luxury apartments, professionally managed by award-winning Attic Angel Community. Call Demery today for a tour and reserve your place at Oakmont.
Culligan Water takes pride in being your local water experts. We live here, work here, and dedicate our lives to improving our area's water. We deliver the world's best water treatment and the industry's best service to you. Culligan Water, your local water experts.
Why are there 2 extra seats? Are we getting 2 Great Danes? I know, giant Uncle Dane and his giant beard. Maybe a dragon. Twin sisters, and one is a robot and one is a knight. And I'll be on the side of the octopus.
The Volkswagen Atlas with best-in-class third-row legroom. Visit your local dealer today to learn more about our Carefree Coverage Suite, standard on all 2023 Volkswagen models.
Wish you had help getting things done. Same. So I got Spectrum One. Fast internet, unlimited mobile, and advanced Wi-Fi, all for a great price. Want it? Here's the number.
Call 833-784-4999 to get Spectrum Internet for $49.99 a month, plus advanced Wi-Fi and your first line of unlimited mobile free for 12 months. Spectrum Internet delivers the fastest download speeds in the nation.
Which helps me run all of this easily. Kids checkups, scheduled. Work, bust. Treat dispenser, treating. And since I'm always on this, unlimited mobile is a no-brainer. Work.
Switch to Spectrum One. 300 megabit internet, unlimited mobile, and advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced security.
Spectrum One. Gets it done.
Get Spectrum Internet for $49.99 a month, plus advanced Wi-Fi, and your first line of unlimited mobile free for 12 months. Call 833-784-4999. Visit Spectrum.com or stop by a store today.
Experience, knowledge, and results. That's what you need when you've been in a serious truck accident. Call Gruber Law Offices. We've successfully helped people injured by big trucks for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Welcome to Oakmont Senior Community in Verona. Active seniors 55 plus will enjoy our new luxury apartments, professionally managed by award-winning Attic Angel Community. Call Demery today for a tour and reserve your place at Oakmont.
Camp Platteville is over for the Wisconsin football team. After 5 morning practices, Luke Fickell sent his squad out in style under the lights at Pioneer Stadium for their last practice before returning home to Madison. And the week-long trip might have been a little bit different than what the Badgers are used to during fall camp, but after living in the dorms and being around each other and football for 24/7, well, it's an experience these guys are never going to forget.
Oh, man, I ain't gonna lie, I enjoyed it here. I don't know about everybody else, but, you know, it brings back to the old days, freshman year, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's together in the dorm, playing around, talking to each other, you know, going through camp. Platteville is like, get away from all the noise in Madison, you know. You all with your brothers, with the coaches and everything, you locked in the football and get ready for the season, because, you know, this season we're on a mission, man, trying to make some noise.
It's something like I've never experienced before. I've never went off the grid for fall camp. We're in the dorms, as you know. It's a total different feel, but I think it's helping with the camaraderie and just everyone coming together and truly being a family.
The first college football coaches poll was released this afternoon, and the Luke Fickell era begins with Wisconsin ranked in the top 25. The Badgers sit 21st in the preseason poll and are one of 4 Big Ten teams ranked, joining Michigan, Ohio State, and Penn State. This is the 8th straight season that Wisconsin begins their year ranked in the polls. As the Wisconsin women's soccer team prepares for their upcoming season, the Badgers had the opportunity to watch one of their own on the world stage. Rose Lavelle. The former Badgers' run at another World Cup championship with the U.S. women's national team ended early Sunday morning in the round of 16. But still, watching her performance at this year's squad, well, they were beaming with pride.
It's incredible, you know, and you see how much work she put in and what she had an impact on our program even when she was here, you know, raising that level.
It just shows so much about our program and the type of players that we can produce and send to that national stage. So it's a huge, honor to play for a program that someone like Rose could come out of.
Brewers opening up their series with the Rockies, down 1-0 in the 4th. Craig Counsell calling on Bryce to rang, and he's like, "You rang?" His 2-run bomb puts the Crew up 2-1, and that started a 5-run inning for the home team. Offense was far from done. Brewers blow out the Rockies 12-1. We're back after this.
Boy, did he stay
Is summer fun on your agenda? If not, it should be, because we are at Wisconsin RV World today with Miss Christine Egan, the lady who knows everything about these beautiful units behind us. 78 years in business, 4-generation family-run business. I know you love this opportunity to help people have fun in the summer. So what are some options of these great things?
You can get anything from a single axle to a bunkhouse to a couples unit to toy hauler, travel trailers, and fifth wheel. The sky's the limit.
I love it so much. You have all of the models on the floor right here. What about solar? People are always wondering about, are these units solar ready?
You can get it with either solar ready or solar on board.
Okay.
Solar on board means that you actually have the solar panels on the roof and ready to go.
Can I get in one of these? Because
yeah.
I love them so much. Someday I'm gonna have one. Will you show me one?
Yeah, we'll get outside and look.
Christine, every time I'm here, I'm amazed at your selection.
This is one you might really like.
Let's go see it. of your family and make it a fun summer here at Wisconsin RV World. I'm Emmy Fink, and you're buzzed into Madison. And we just need a deck of cards and a cold beverage. Get over here.
America, it's time to gear up and get out there in a new Ford vehicle. And it all starts at your local Ford dealer during the Discover Summer Sales Event. Choose from a great selection of trucks and SUVs equipped with the tech and comfort you need to discover your best summer ever. With a large inventory in stock, now is the best time to trade in, trade up, and discover summer with Ford. Choose FlexBuy on a 2023 Ford Escape or Edge and get 2.9% APR financing for 66 months plus $1,000 FlexBuy cash. Only at your local Ford dealer.
I suffer with psoriatic arthritis and psoriasis. I was on a journey for a really long time to find some relief. Cosentix works for me.
Cosentix helps real people get real relief from the symptoms of psoriatic arthritis or psoriasis. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or lowered ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, had a vaccine or plan to, or if IBD symptoms develop or worsen.
I move so much better because of Cosentix.
Ask your rheumatologist about Cosentix.
Join me in the 608 weekdays on News 3 Now this morning.
Finally tonight, a bit of irony. The company Zoom, which of course makes working from home more possible, is asking its employees now to return to the office. For now, Zoom employees will only be required to be on site 2 days a week. Zoom says this new hybrid approach applies to people who live near one of the workplaces for the company. It says the structure is more effective. Zoom adds that it will continue to use its own platform for remote days. The announcement follows similar ones from Google, Amazon, and Salesforce, despite some pushback from employees.
That'd be very interesting, wouldn't it? Mm-hmm.
At Zoom, they're going to be working. It's always better face to face.
I'm just locked in the weather office, man.
We do that by design.
Yeah, well, probably. That's a good
You have
point.
limited time to be out now, so go ahead.
Well, skies are partly cloudy right now across Madison. For some reason, why is that graphic there? Well, let's come back on camera here.
We want to see the Carolina coast.
Yeah, well, the storms are moving offshore there. We're looking at a high of about 82 for tomorrow with partly sunny skies. Very nice day.
All right. Take it.
And you can put that on Zoom, too.
Okay.
And thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
Do something good, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.